peace. Okay, we keep going.
Let me just push this button. Watch this watch.
I am light, I am light. I am not mistakes my family made. I know the things that make me great. I know this is love, broken innocence. Okay. Yikes.
Give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth. Give me light, give me life. Keep me free from birth. Give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load. Trying to touch and reach you with heart and soul. Oh Lord. Take hold
My
of
hand,
hand that I might understand you. Won't you please, oh, won't you give me love, give me love, give me peace on earth. Give me light, give me life. Keep me free from birth. Give me hope, help me cope with this heavy load. Trying to touch and reach you with heart and soul. Oh Lord.
okay, we're warming up. What was the next one? Oh boy.
I'm glad that the thing is warmed up now. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby.
Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to dreams really do come true.
Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, why, oh, why can't I? Well, I see trees of green, I see red roses too. I'll watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
I see skies blue, I see clouds of white, bright blessed day and the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
The colors of the rainbows are so pretty in the sky, also of the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. And I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we will know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. If pretty little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, I think so can I.
Yes, you're welcome. It's our pleasure.
And as well as on the web, wherever you are in this universe, dimension, whichever. Um, Thank you for joining us. Later, we'll be hearing from Randyl Rupar. Again, we'll be hearing from Davina and Benjamin playing their beautiful music. Um, right now, I just want to invite everyone just to get settled in your body, wherever you are in this moment. Take a nice deep breath, breathe it in, feel that energy ground to whatever place you are in the world, whether you're here on our island or somewhere in the contiguous 48 or somewhere else, even our transdimensional friends and relatives, um, those from before, those who stand behind us, we welcome you to this sacred space. So breathing in that breath that brings us here, that makes us who we are, and letting it out slowly in that ha. And as we breathe, think about the lovely air around you. Think about the beautiful space that you're in. Think about all that love within yourself expanding out. Think about all the love surrounding you that's coming within. We're so blessed to be here in Hawaii where we can hear the wind and the breeze through the trees, the lovely birds singing all around us. We're blessed to have that nature reminding us we're not alone. We're in connection. We're in community. Wherever we are. Nice deep breath in and out. And the best way to share breath is with a song. So I'm hoping Davina and Benjamin will come and share a song with us.
So it's been a little while since I've been up here singing. Used to say, there's my dancer singer friend Candy. This song is One Day by Matisyahu, and our focus, Maggie helped remind me that one day is about something in the future. So I'm going to honor the person who wrote the song, Matisyahu, singing one day, and then bump it to today and every day. Right? And if you know this one, please feel free to sing, dance, have a good time. I'm going to start off with a little prayer from the Dalai Lama. Every day, think as you wake up. Today I'm gonna learn to have woken up. I'm alive, I have a precious human life, so do you. And I'm not gonna waste it. Oh, every day, think as you wake up. Here's what I think. Today I'm gonna learn to have woken up. I'm alive, I have precious human life, so do you. And I'm not gonna waste it. Sometimes I lay under the moon and thank God I'm breathing. And then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, praying for people to say that we don't want to fight no more. No more wars, and all the children will play. One day,
One day,
one day,
one day,
one day, oh, one day, one day, one day, oh. In this maze you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it faze you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. 'Cause all my life I've been waiting for, praying for people to say that we don't want to fight no more. No more wars, and the children will play one day, today, every day. Oh, one day, today, every day. Oh, one day this all will change, treat people the same. Stop with the violence and down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like why oh, why oh, why oh, oh. All my life I've been waiting for, praying for people to say that we don't want to fight no more. No more wars, and all the children will play one day, today, every day. Oh, one day, today, every day. Yeah. Woo, good job. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you, Davina and Benjamin. I love that song. Right now, I'd like Amatra to come up and share with us a reading from Science of Mind.
Good morning. It is good. Today's reading is entitled The Third Most Important Relationship. After your relationships with spirit and yourself are your relationships with all others. While these vary in degree and intensity, all are based on a quality of your primary relationships. And your primary relationships with spirit and yourself. That's kind of a circle, a completion there. By seeing your divine connection and fully loving yourself as an adult of God, you create the basis for authentic relationships with everyone else and everything else. Authentic relationships are honest, caring, and accountable. Healthy boundaries are created in accordance with the nature of each relationship. While boundaries vary depending on the relationship, what should be uniform in each is the authenticity and empowerment arising from the healthy connection to spirit and self. When we nurture this healthy connection within, we bring our healthy selves to every relationship. We bring an authentic partner to life partnership, a faithful friend to friendship, a loving family member to family, an honest and reliable person to our work. The value in having a highly developed sense of connection to spirit and self is that we are not needy. We bring as much or more than we receive. We see ourselves as whole and experience the wholeness in all others. Thank you.
Thank you, Amatra. I guess I forgot to tell you, you're supposed to share with us the affirmation at the bottom of the page. That's okay. I should have reminded you. I'm like waiting for the affirmation. It's like one of my favorite parts.
Absolutely.
Actually, I want to share what Ernest Holmes had to say.
Oh, that would be lovely.
It's really good. He's special. If you don't know who he is, he's the founder of what used to be called the Science of Mind, and now the Center for Creative Living is the actual new context. We are living in that. We are a New Thought church, so we're part of that family. So he had this to say, oh, so long ago. Does anyone know when he was actually in his body here? In the 40s, 1940s.
Like the 20s to the 40s?
20s to the 40s, I just heard. Really, we should not say man has a soul. Man is a soul. Yeah. If you've heard that, he said it. We should live then as though we were a soul. But this soul is in such intimate relationship with what they called in those days the oversoul, and I know that context. The oversoul, that every time we try to separate ourselves from it by seeking to hurt, we will be hurt. That's kind of what we call the boomerang effect, if you've ever heard of that one. So that was his context for how we should recognize ourselves as a soul in the oversoul. So the affirmation put on the third most important relationship is, I am one with spirit. I am one with spirit. Secure in my sense of who I am. All of my relationships are based on authenticity, generosity, and compassion. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Amatra, because I'm supposed to give a little history about New Thought, and I always forget the details. So thank you for sharing with us that we are New Thought, and New Thought is part of the community of Science of Mind and the Center for Greater Spiritual Living, which used to be religious science. And we're cousins to unity, and we're cousins to each other because we all have spirit and all our spirits come from the same source. And that's why we're here, is to celebrate that connection, right? So thank you, Amatra, for helping me fill in the gaps. I'm kind of new to this myself, but I would like to invite and welcome everyone who is here today to see Randyl speak. And Randyl Rupar will be sharing with us his thoughts and his deep mana'o a little bit later in the program. And is there anyone here for the first time? Anyone? Yay! It's like a reunion.
We have people here that have been here forever that came back. Yeah.
Well, thanks for making it your way to the Lanai. We're really blessed to have you here. And thank you for everyone who's tuning in on the interwebs and intergalactically. Thanks for sharing in this moment of sacredness. Randall, do you so moving on, where anybody have a miracle or an ordinary? Miracles are those things that remind us that we are in divine connection, and ordinaries are those things that are those gifts in our daily lives that let us know we are in synchronicity and that there is a prosperacy. The universe is, working to support us in our greatest growth. And
I have a small one I'd like to share. I'll just stand up and share it. Actually,
would you please share?
Okay.
Yeah. And you don't have to touch the mic. You can just stand here.
I have no fear of touching your mic. I have no fear of talking in the mic. I have no fear of breathing. My simple, ordinary, everyday miracle is that when I came in early to play the crystal bowls and I was setting up, I do a meditation myself. And I couldn't really say why, but Eric and Maureen just kept coming into my heart and mind, my mind heart. And they haven't been here for years. And Eric and Maureen sitting back here, if you want to raise your hand, they're veterans to our big extended family that live up in Javi. And Eric was the most inspirational crystal bowl player here on the island to me. And I, for some reason, kept feeling and thinking him throughout the whole morning. And I said to Randyl and some of the others that were in the crystal bowls, I said, I'm just really thinking about Eric and Maureen, and we don't see them very much and probably won't see them for a while, but they're our extended family up in Javi, and here they are. So they came. So that's Maureen saying she's playing the bowls now too. And she says I'm an influence. Well, we're all influencing each other.
Randall used to play the flute with the bowls, and we started playing the bowls too. So thank you, everybody. Beautiful. Happy to be here. Thank you.
No, please.
I'm Pasha, and I had two different miracles competing in my consciousness, but because of the one Aaron shared, that helped me decide which one. It's that kind of miracle where you're able to connect with another person and meet each other's needs, and there's some agency that seems almost supernatural or that enables it to happen. And yet it also can seem very ordinary, as this one did, because it happened because I was trying to find a musician for August 7th. And the people I had identified I thought would be just right were Bernice and Manuel Roberto, because I know they're leaving the island soon, and I figured we want to hear as much of their music as we can before they move to Florida. And but for some reason, Manuel wasn't responding. He's usually very, quick to respond to those kind of inquiries. So I thought, okay, I'll try Bernice. So I texted to Bernice, and she got back to me and said, well, sorry for the delay. We're not sure how to respond because we have a place to stay through August 5th, but we'd like to stay through the 9th, but we don't have a place yet. Any suggestions? Well, as it happened, our vacation rental was open because we blocked it in anticipating a trip to the mainland. That it's still happening, which is why I'm wearing a mask to be super careful. But it's going to be shorter. So the days they needed were in fact available. So it's just like, okay, it's another ordinary miracle for a new thought, and they will be here. We're really honored and pleased to be able to host them for their last three days in Kona. And I have a message, Momi, that Randyl would like Amatra to do a spritzing right now before he is, I think, before he's introduced, right? Okay, all right.
We have one more miracle. Oh, okay.
I just have a quick one. So I met a homeless Hawaiian man as I was hanging out at a party at airport area, and he said that was his family's land, and he was having trouble. Government was trying to take it, and he has a ukulele along with his bicycle, and so I asked him not to hold out on us, but come please play, and he did. And he was great. Now, come to find out, after I exchanged phone numbers with him, he was ready to end his life that day. So I'd been trying to help him to feel a little more hopeful, and got a message from another friend of mine who works with the school system, is a liaison with families, and she asked if I might want to coordinate housing for people in South County. I don't really have time for that. However, that program was just what he needed because he's been living in the bushes. So it's called Emergency Rental Assistance Hope.
And to that I say, mahalo ke akua.
Aloha again. This is called Mist, and it's rose and frankincense, created by someone that used to be and still may be called Dr. Frankincense. I'm going to do an aura spray, and if you'd hold your hands like this, I'll spray your palms. I'd like you to just nod your head if you do want me to do this when I come up to you, okay? Otherwise, maybe I'll create a simple thing. I'll just do your hands if you do not want your face or head sprayed. Nod your head if you do.
Well, mahalo, Randall, for sharing this sacred aura of the resin and the flowers. Do you want to share with us a little bit about the significance of a frankincense rose mist?
Well, thank you so much. And I just want to just offer my gratitude and my love to all of you who have shown up. This is a beautiful time for all of us. And it's so wonderful to be able to see old faces and new faces, and just to have the opportunity to express a lot of what is here on the planet and also in our hearts, and also for those that are willing to hear what's going on, because there's a lot going on. And the whole Dr. Frankincense is kind of cool, because frankincense to me has been a real um, it's been a tool that I just mention to people. If it was good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me. And it helps me member that the Christian mystery was all about that Christed being incarnating on the planet and reminding all of us that we are all Christed. And frankincense helps me member that. So whenever I get involved in the chaos that's in our world, I'll just, and I'm fortunate because I was able to go to one of the most incredible places on the planet, which is the Sultanate of Oman. And this is where I'm biased, but I do believe that the finest frankincense in the world does grow there. And I was invited to go to the Sultanate of Oman. And this was well over 20 years ago. And it was amazing because you kind of have in your reptilian brain the aspect of what's going on in the Muslim Islamic world. And it's another program. And so I was just thrilled that I could go. And at that time, Oman was not open. You had to be invited and you had to have a special visa. And they set up a special visa for me so I could go in and experience the depth and the history of what frankincense offers. And these people are of Arabic descent, and yet they were just so exquisitely hospitable. They treated me like I was a crown prince, and that was very cool because when I went there to set up a big deal. Uh, how many of you know uh, Young Living Oils? Okay. Well, I had arranged for Gary Young to go to Oman and to purchase a container load of this frankincense. Now, because he was at that time located in Utah during the winter months, he really didn't have anything to distill. So he believed that this was an opportunity that he could absolutely have some of the finest frankincense in the world and distill it in Utah during those winter months. So, being the somewhat entrepreneur that I am, I put together an agreement that whatever Gary would purchase, that I would receive 10%, kind of a tithing. I thought that was sort of cool. And so he knew that. He signed it and I set it up and we he flew different airlines, I flew a different airline and we met at this beautiful man's place. I mean, it was like 6 stories white. This man was like royalty himself and his DNA actually was that historic genetic factor that was selling to Marco Polo. I mean, you talk about business. These guys knew business. They've been doing it for hundreds and hundreds of years. So um, they were kind enough to set up tours for Gary Young and his wife Mary, and they actually went to a all over, um, and they they went on part of the frankincense trail, and it was just a remarkable journey for me because this man, besides being as noble as he was, who knows what noble means? The true definition of it. Do you know, Momi? Okay, guess. Give us a guess.
Um, I would say to be noble is to conduct oneself with integrity while respecting those among you, regardless of their status.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Anyone else might? Well, what it means is that you choose to be free of pettiness, which is
Ah.
exactly what you said. Because being petty, I get chicken skin because I've been petty so many times in my life that it's pitiful and or pettyful, I guess. Um, and and so I just witnessed a very pitiful moment from Gary Young. He said, "Well, this was an $85,000 deal. Okay, I didn't have $85,000 to invest in this. So Gary said to this noble man, 'Well, I want to buy it, but I don't want to give Randall his 10%.'" And I could see that this man was kind of startled, like, "Who are you, man?" I mean, just like thinking this, like how could you say that? I mean, this man brought you here. We've been so kind and so generous, and have given you the opportunity to really see Oman and where the frankincense come from and what it's all about. And you would ask that, and you have a contract. So he stepped out of the room, came back, and he said, "We'll take care of Randall. We will give him that 10%. You can you can just relax. If this is what you want and what you need, we want to get frankincense out into the world. So we're willing to do that." You know what Gary Young did? I mean, this was again so ignoble. He said, "I want that 10% too." This man stood up, walked over to Gary and Mary Young, and said, "You're welcome to leave right now. I will not do business with you." I mean, I sat in my chair. Part of me was just like elated because this man told this Gary Young character, I mean, you're a jerk, right? But did it so honorably, so nobly, and so powerfully that I just thought, wow, this is very cool. Now, obviously, I didn't get my 10% of the $85,000, but I got the source. And I call it the royal frankincense because this is the source of the royal family of Oman. This is what they burn. Frankincense comes from three places on the planet. It comes from Ethiopia, India, and the Sultanate of Oman. And Oman is that space, that wonderful portion of, if you remember the journey of the three magi, the three kings, the three astrologers who were following this star or whatever it was. I've read 4 books on the magi trying to figure this out. I mean, who were these guys? I mean, how could they leave their countrymen to follow whatever? Some say it was Venus, some say it was Mercury, but they were following this. And they remarkably, and after all, remember, it's just a story. You can believe it or you don't have to believe it. I seem to believe that it was real. And so they were traveling, following the star, looking for the newborn king of the world. Ponder that. Ponder these guys, who they were, what their gifts were. Momi, what were their gifts?
Frankincense and myrrh.
Got it.
Gold, frankincense. And I grew up wondering, as a kid, you know what gold is. Everyone treasures gold, but I had no idea what frankincense or myrrh was. And then, there's always those jokes of, oh, well, it's just resins. What's important about it? Why?
Well,
What's
let me
important
l-
about the frankincense?
let me get into that. So after reading these 4 books, at the time of Christ, they spoke a language. That language was Aramaic. And in the Aramaic, which is fascinating, these Christian scholars are trying to figure out why would these kings, magi, give a newborn infant, the king of the world, just presents? Well, here's the deal. They said that Jesus had a karmic plan. And that karma was that he was supposed to incarnate on the planet. And when he incarnated on the planet, what did he come here to do? He came here to take on the sins of the world. The sins of the world. So, for all you sinners out there, just remember that a sacred spiritual being already took it on for you. You don't have to take it on. You can just let it go and forgive yourself and forgive others. And one thing that I think is very cool about the whole Jesus mystery is that he always said, when somebody does something to you, turn the other cheek. And that turn the other cheek to me takes courage, because when you turn the other cheek, a lot of people will go, oh man, that guy's a pussy, man. He doesn't want to fight or doesn't want to say anything. Turning the other cheek means that you've got the courage to accept what's coming your way, and it doesn't mean that you're looking the other way. It means that you are strong, powerful, and capable enough to take on that. Turn the other cheek and know that you are spiritually blessed because you have the courage to be able to do that. Powerful stuff. Now, what the Christian scholars were saying is that Jesus had a destiny. What a destiny. To take on the sins of the world. And how did he do that? Through crucifixion. Through betrayal. Taking it all in. What does that take? The substance of the myrrh, they say, gave him the courage to be able to face death and suffering by the crucifixion. He did that. Now we have frankincense. Ooh, I love frankincense. It's just so wonderful. That's WONDER, capital FULL. Wonderful. It brings to me a sense of enlightenment, a sense of knowing And this was the reason they gave this to Jesus. It was so Jesus, the man, could become the Christed being. Now, as I said, first one was myrrh, gave him courage. Second one, frankincense. What did it do? It gave him the spiritual awareness to become an enlightened being, which through those aspects, it gives us the ability to become Christed. That's what frankincense does. We're all Christed beings. We all shine that light of Christ in all the trillions of cells of our body. They're all working to remind you that you are a Christed human being. So shine that light. Now, the third one, which I'm really just in awe about, is the gold. Now, gold at that time was not used for currency. I mean, if you had gold, and there really wasn't gold coins. All the coins, the money, is made out of what? Silver. So Judas got 30 pieces of silver, not gold, to betray Jesus, and then he hung himself because he knew that he had the karma to betray this being. So Judas, to me, if you look at it from a different perspective, because there is left and right, you can say that man chose to be the one that was powerful enough to betray him. Ponder it. I mean, it's a very powerful thing. So, gold was like maybe, you know, I mean, if they wanted him to be the king, they would have brought him a crown. They would have said a crown because crowns were made of gold, not silver, to give this kingly status. But they didn't. They brought him gold. Didn't say crown, didn't say anything else. One of the no, two of the books translated. It slips my mind. It was like Gib or something like that in regards to what gold was in Aramaic. You know what else it meant? Turmeric. Now, come on, people, ponder that. Turmeric is what color? Gold. What does turmeric do? Turmeric, if you look at a website that's called pubmed.gov, what it does is that it takes all of this information from scientists, and these scientists will actually post to the website. Like, say, for instance, turmeric is good as an anti-inflammatory agent. Okay, just one of the things. And I have like 6 other scientists, and we found out that wow, it works and works really, really well. So we will post it on this website and say Davina is in Hawaii, and she has her people that have done this experiment on and as an anti-inflammatory, and she found that there were a number of things that were the same, but she found other things. So, what you can do on this website is that you can converse with one another. And when you converse with one another, it's like you are saying, wow, we found this, but we didn't find that. So, it's a type of aspect to where you have scientists that are looking at this and validating it. Okay? So if you look on this website, 6,000 independent peer review studies on 600 human ailments and no toxicity. So here's my entrepreneur alchemist going, turmeric. I had a 15-acre farm for a while and we were growing everything. But turmeric just grew. And I thought, wow, what's up with this plant? So I had a still, pop some in the still. All the orange yellow from the turmeric stayed in the still because I've got turmeric over there. And if you take turmeric and you've got a cut, you're going like this trying to get it in, it ain't going to go in. And you're going to turn orange, gold, and I mean, they use it as a dye. And so I thought, I'm going to make because all the orange yellow is in the still. And I got essential oil and what's called a floral water, a hydrosol in this. And then I'm thinking, wow, you can mist this on. So it goes in your bloodstream, through your skin. Like that's why they use nicotine patches, because it goes directly into your bloodstream. And then put it under your tongue. And those of you that have been on the island for a while remember what it was like when Pele was really flowing and there was fog and you had sinusitis in your lungs. So you actually could put it up your nostrils. And the results have been amazing. So I just want to let you know that the use of these substances, whether it was gold or turmeric, have tremendous validity. And I know like I'm sounding like I'm hawking my products, which I am. So I got to be honest about that. But they're great. They're wonderful products. Living here in Hawaii is I feel so blessed and so graced because we have a growing season that's year round, and it helps to promote what we're really doing here. And I was fortunate enough when I moved here. I moved in on December 31st, 1999, from Oahu because I wanted to be on the Big Island for the new millennium, and I've been here ever since. And it's been wonderful and remarkable and crazy, um, not insane. The world's insane. We're not. We can be a little crazy. That's our hedge against insanity. So let's just get that straight. But realizing that being here in this moment, powerful. And again, that's capital POWER, capital FULL. Powerful, wonderful. Put that in. Trillions of cells in our body. Trillions. Every cell working for the betterment of the whole. That's called homeostasis. We are all healers. And again, remember that. We are here to heal ourselves so that we can help others to heal themselves. Be that light. Be that message. I'm a healthy, happy, powerful, wonderful, loving human being. I'm here for a purpose. I'm here for me first. It's what they say on the airplane. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Remember that, because if you don't have that on and you're trying to help another person, forget it. It ain't going to happen. If you truly have self love, your ego dissolves. That's what it's all about. So, through these wonderful physical senses that we have, we can manifest a miracle that's called life. And life is that miracle. When you look at how we procreate and how we evolve as human beings, what the ontogeny is all about. Mommy, what's ontogeny? Does anybody know what ontogeny is? Ontogeny is when you are in the womb for 9 months, you go through every land animal that is inhabiting the earth. It's awesome. From the very, very, very tiny slug, so you're the tiger, to the tiger, into that metamorphosis of a human being. Again, that's who we are. We are so connected to everything. And let's be in that space again, and I'm going to drive it into you. That's what frankincense is for. It helps you remember your Christedness, who you are, why you are, what you're doing here, because there's a lot to do. And the planet needs us. It needs us to be wonderful and powerful in the love that we share with one another. And I just, I want to ask all of you to just be in that moment. I think I have a minute left. So I would like you to just close your eyes, breathe deeply and rhythmically, and remember the purpose of existence. What is that purpose? The only real answer to that is love. And the first love is yourself. Because without that love, there's no way that you are going to go out into the world and attempt to love somebody else. It just doesn't work. So, what I'd like you to do is place your hands like you're hugging yourself and say, I love you, I love you, I love you. I forgive you. I shall know my purpose, my divinely ordained destiny, and I should really, really know and understand what it is to love. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Randall. I could just listen to you for hours. And actually, sometimes I do. Sometimes I drive around and I love when I don't love going to town. I'm a Mauka person. I like living in my quiet little community. But one of the bonuses of being downtown Kailua is my van, my mom van, gets 100.5, which is Randall's radio station. I don't forget. I listen to it every time. I mean, not only is there like great eclectic music, and I mean great and eclectic music. Sometimes you get to hear Randall just espousing about whatever flavor of the moment that somebody recorded. A lot of times it's recordings from his live presentations at one of his marvelous festivals, like the Mango Festival, which is coming up in August, I believe the 13th of August. And that is always fabulous. He also does avocado festivals and he does the coconut festival. And that's like one of the things about Randall that's awesome is he embodies what I feel to be the truest sense of spirit and Christ consciousness. Like, so I'm not a Christian, and I've brought that up before, but I'm down with Jesus because he was a cool guy. And one of the cool things about Jesus was, and people don't admit this, he liked to party. He liked to hang out with large groups of people and have good food and good drink and celebrate life because that's why we're here. We embody our spirits into this carnate form to enjoy each other, to enjoy being here. And some of the greatest ways we enjoy life is celebrating with each other, coming together in large groups, talking about things that uplift our bodies and uplift our spirit by imbibing really good food, as they say in Hawaiian, aipono, food that is just wholesome and high vibration. And that's one of the things about frankincense that's just so verve is that it's raises your vibration. And so does food. And like food grown on the Aina, fresh from the land, locally sourced, it's still vibrating with that essence of life. And then when we take it in as a collective in a group, it just, it's like why we're here, like why would we ever leave our celestial selves of like ultimate connectedness? Mangoes. Like, or and if you're allergic to mango, coconut, which is like one of the purest sources of nutrition we can have. I mean, the water of a coconut freshly open is the purest water on earth. It's so pure you can give it to newborns. And Randall, and it took this man coming from Oahu to Big Island to create these tremendous community events to celebrate these great simple aspects that help align our physical being with our spiritual being and bring nature into ourselves and connect us as a community. And I have so missed those these past few years. Like I like communing in my garden with my little micro family and my little micro world, and it's absolute bliss. But you forget what social creatures we truly are until you go to one of these big festivals. And one of my first encounters with New Thought was volunteering um, at a mango festival with a whole troop of New Thought people. And they were talking about New Thought, and Davina was giving free hugs and there were free massages and there was Reiki and it was beautiful. It was just so amazing to be a part of. And And that's what I love about Kona is we have all these different facets of our community that just resonate with love and giving and sharing and bringing, spirit alive and on this planet, like just walking forward in the light. And that's why I love New Thought because it's just all that. And speaking of all that, and Randall being all that, is there any other things other than the Mango Festival coming up you want to share with us? Do you,
There is the, we call it Going Nuts for the Holidays, and it features mac nuts and coconuts. And that's going to be in November. And it's also the beautiful part about this is that our very first festival was an avocado festival, and it was inspired when I first came to an island. I went to a seed exchange, and that was at Amy Greenwell Ethnobotanical Gardens, and of course it was free, and there wasn't any money exchanged whatsoever. I mean, if you didn't have anything to exchange, it didn't matter. Just take it and grow it, and be a part of it. And after, um, moving from Oahu, which is that's the gathering place, and it's a lot different than here, a lot different. And I saw that, and I went, I'm so happy I moved here. I want to make this happen. So I had a 15-acre organic farm, and I wanted to. Number one, I did. It was it was for the first annual mango festival. I mean avocado festival, and it was also nobody knew, but it was celebrating my birthday as well. And so I invited all the neighbors because we lived up Telephone Exchange, and if you've ever been all the way to the top, I mean it's it's a trip getting up there. I mean a real one, and so I invited all the neighbors so they wouldn't be angry with the fact that I was having this big gathering. We had over 300 people show up, and it was so cool. It just turned out to be remarkable, and it catalyzed something in me. And a dear friend of mine came. His name is Ken Love, and Ken is the executive director of the Tropical Fruit Growers Association. And after the festival, he called me and he said, "Well, you got to do this. I mean," he said, "I know the general manager at Amy Greenwell. You got to start doing this." So we started to do it at Amy Greenwell at No Botanical Gardens, and we did it for 3 more years there until we outgrew it. I mean, we were getting literally maybe 1,500 to 2,000 people, and there's no parking. I mean, it's like, and people would like say, "We love your festivals, but um, it's not a good thing because we don't have anywhere to park, and we're parking on the road, and we could, you know, injure ourselves." So then I decided to move it to the Keoho Beach Resort, which was awesome. I mean, that I'm really saddened that that is not happening anymore, because that that to me was a legacy of Hawaii. I mean, that was really beautiful, and I heard that the reason why they shut it down was because of the economics. They said it wasn't making money, so we'll just shut it down. And which was sad, and also Kumu Kealaching was, I mean, he was the resident Kumu there, and so they kind of let him go. So I moved over to the Sheraton and started to do it there, and then something clicked. I thought, you know, I mean, I love doing it at Amy Greenwell because it's community, and then moving over to the um, beach resort, to the Keoho Beach Resort. That was community because it's Kamehameha Schools Bishop Estate, and that felt good. But the Barnum and Bailey in me said, "Hey, man, you gotta keep the show going. So move it over to the Sheraton." And a lot of people who worked at the Keoho Beach Resort just migrated over to the Sheraton. So I did it there for a couple of years, and then um, the Sheraton really wasn't very accommodating at all. And so what I did is that I contacted the county and I said, "Can I do it at Holly Hullabye? I want to do it at the beach park. I want to have it be inside and outside." And they said, "You pay the price, you're there." So um, we've been there ever since. And we had to take off for 2 years because of COVID, and we're back again. We had our 15th annual avocado festival there, which was great. But I only had 30 days to pull that together, and that was really wild. And
So is the Mango Festival at Holly Holloway?
everything is at Holly Hullabye. And I'll tell you the reason. Number one, the money goes to the county, which I'm really happy for. And also, I do a lot of advertising. But just because it's downtown, kind of like the Kona stroll, we'll get 1,000 people just walking down the street saying, "Wow, what's happening? Oh, a free festival. Sure, we're coming in." So that I really enjoy that. And like I said, after the Mango Festival, going nuts for the Holidays Festival, and then I decided that I wanted to do something because we worked for the Blue Zones and with the Blue Zones, which is all about health and wellness and things like that. I I decided that I would do a Hawaiian wellness festival. And what that is, it's what you were talking about. It's like being in Hawaii, eating good local organic foods, and just being a part of Hawaiian culture.
So when is that festival?
That's going to be in December.
I want to know the date. I want to go.
Okay. Oh well, yeah, you're going to all of them, girl. Yeah. So yeah, well, stay in touch. Listen to Kona 100.5. And by the way, um, we moved our radio station because we were broadcasting from my home up in Palisades, and it wasn't really getting a lot of good coverage in Kona. We just recently moved to a place that's a lot of you would know John Betlatch because he's been here before, and we moved it to his place. So we get excellent coverage over all of Kona. The only challenge is that this last week. Now, we've been in business for 7 years. People don't know that, and
What, the old station from when you were
yeah.
telephone exchange?
No, no, no,
Oh.
no, no, no. I moved from Telephone Exchange up above the airport, and that's where I was broadcasting from. But the thing is that realistically, the equipment and electronics don't do well here on the island because of the humidity and wet. So our transmitter just failed. So we sent it back in. Hopefully, we will be broadcasting. Now we're always broadcasting 24/7 on the internet. That's www.kona1005.org. But we are not broadcasting live now until we get the transmitter back. So what we're attempting to do is I want to start doing things like HPR does and have it community supported and have people know that this, as you were saying, Momi, it's a great radio station, but it does cost money to operate. And we've been operating by the seat of our pants. For this is going on the 8th year. So now we're going to go back into the community and do fundraisers. We'll be doing a fundraiser at the Mango Festival that evening. We've tried it before, didn't work, but hopefully this time, because we'll be getting better musicians and maybe well known musicians to show up and to have a fundraiser. And by the way, we're I just uh, I just bought um, 150 baseball caps that are, that are embroidered with Kona 1005 on them. So if anybody gives us a donation, they'll get a cap.
Oh,
So
that's so very nice. Well, unfortunately, New Thought doesn't have quite the budget for hats, but we do have some well-known musicians such as Davina and Benjamin, and if they could possibly come up and give us some eclectic music to lift our spirits, that would be fabulous. And while they're coming up to play us some music, if anyone in the audience would like to give New Thought a donation, we have this beautiful koa bowl that is ready to receive. Because, yeah, electricity isn't cheap these days. So while we listen to some beautiful music, if you feel inspired to share, please share. And if not, just send us some good, loving vibrations because that's always, always welcome.
Well, if you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million things to be. You know that there are. And if you want to live high, live high. And if you want to live low, live low. 'Cause there's a million ways to go. You know that there are. You can do what you want.
You can do what you want.
The opportunity's on.
Opportunities on.
And if you find a new way,
If you find a new way,
you can do it today.
you can do it today.
You can make it all true.
You can make it all true.
And you can make it undo. You see, it's easy. You only need to know. So if you want to say yes, say yes. And if you want to say no, say no. 'Cause there's a million ways to go. You know that there are. And if you want to be me, be me. And if you want to be you, be you. 'Cause there's a million things to do. You know that there are. You can do what you want. The opportunities are.
Opportunities on.
And if you find a new way,
if you find a new way,
you can do it today.
you can do it today.
You can make it all true.
Make it all true.
And you can make it undo. You see, it's easy. You only need to know. So if you want to sing out, sing out. And if you want to be free, be free. 'Cause there's a million things to be. You know that there are. 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 You know that there are.
Thank you. Thank you. Mahalo nui meke mele. So, coming up at New Thought, actually, this afternoon, if you are so inspired by Randall's talk this morning, he is having a workshop this afternoon. We have a sign up sheet over on the table next to the beautiful Ava Bowl and mists and sprays of glorious vibrations. Um, it is a $20 suggested donation for from 1:30 to 3, and Randall will be talking tools of illumination, an experiential journey. Um, Also, we have the next 3 Sundays, Alfredo Gormanzio, Inner Voice, Trusting Our Guidances, and he's going to be singing and dancing as he is a Sufi practitioner. On July 17th, surprise, you got to show up to find out what we're talking about. But if you don't like surprises, then you can come on the 24th and see our beautiful Genevieve Soren, and she will be talking about authentic rhythms, self mastery through awareness, and radical expression. And music will be by Jeff Tree. Again, don't forget to sign up for that workshop this afternoon from 1:30 to 3 with Randall. And every month on the last Sunday, we have a produce giveaway. So if you want to come and share your produce, please do. And we also need people to receive the produce that is brought, because you have to receive so the giver can give. And receiving is a divine honor. And a lot of us forget that, to allow to be given to and to receive the blessings. And it's something that I learned recently. I helped a friend out, and I drove her um, to the urgent care, and she was so grateful, but she was like, I don't have gas money. I'm like, you don't need gas money. And I'm like, but she really wanted to, makana me. So I realized it was important to her to be able to give back to me. And as important it was to me to be helping her, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't deny her this experience to show gratitude. And I was like, okay. So I was like, yeah, I'll take some lychee. But it was a deep lesson for me, because I'm always used to being the receiver. Like, so the opportunity to give or do something for someone, I was like, no, 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 you don't have to give me gratitude. I'm trying to give back. But it's important. So come, receive our fruit, and come bring your fruit on the last day of the month. And the first Sunday of the month, like we did today, we had a healing bowl meditation, a crystal bowl meditation that Erin really she does a wonderful job. So if you choose to come to the crystal bowls, they start before service, they're pre-service. So from 8:30 to 9 on the first Sunday of the month, you can come and enjoy the crystal bowl meditation. And if you are inclined towards service, we can always use volunteers to help set up, to greet people. We're looking for help for our Facebook page. If you're, of that genre of understanding, um, please come help tech us out. And we're also looking for workshop facilitators. So, like, if you were to facilitate for Randall, this is an example, then you would be able to hear him for free for the service of helping people sign in and know what to do for the workshop. We're also looking for a 50th Jubilee coordinator. We're still trying to celebrate our 50th birthday. COVID's kind of put it a pasha, but something as cool as New Thought, we should just celebrate for like 5 years, because it's cool. Now, if you have not signed up for our mailing list, please, we have a book over here that you can sign up, or you can go to www.newthought.com newthoughtcenterofhawaii.com. And you can sign up there and get our newsletter. And then you can be aware of everything going on in our wonderful little lanai and our fabulous little community, because we're fabulous. And thank you all for joining us today. Yay. And thank you, Randall and Davina. And would you join us, help lead our closing prayer? So unfortunately, because we've entered this COVID consciousness, we're not holding hands as we sing. We're just standing up and singing in the place where we stand. I was thinking Ariane, stand in the place where you live. Stand in the place where you live, is that what you said? Yeah. You know the REM song?
No, I'm
No.
gonna look that one up, and I'm gonna look up web pub. What was it? PubMed. PubMed.gov.
Gov.
Just remember Club Med.
Ooh, okay.
That's how I do it.
Ooh, how about Mediterranean food? Okay, almost there, almost there. Going Malka to Mackay, she's like, I don't know. She expands and contracts just like we do, right? Okay, you gonna lead us there too, Mommy?
Am I? Okay. No, please.
E Hawaii e kuone hanawe kuone kulaivine ori noa ina pono lanio e Hawaii aloha e aoli na opio o Hawaii ne oli Maina he makani e pamaine Mau ke aloha no ai E aoli na opio Hawaii ne Oli Maina he makani e pamaine Mau ke aloha